Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary, guys.
Well,
what's the anniversary for?
Yes, tell them.
2 years ago, we shot our first video, and it was top 20 patchouli fragrances.
Yeah, we didn't start small. We didn't start with like, oh, why don't we review a single, like, one bottle?
No, we went 20 patchouli fragrances because we're both
Patchos. I mean, you've heard us joke about it, but it's been 2 years today, so we're doing a reboot.
We are. This is 20 patchouli fragrances, but it's pure patchouli.
And this is for to fuel our patchouli passion. This is, these are fragrances where it's a dominant, undeniable patchouli.
Lots of patchouli, nothing but patchouli. Nothing but patchouli.
Well, it's spelled differently on a lot of them, so we can say it differently.
We can.
We can. We're going to take that liberty
Patchouli.
today.
Patchouli. How about say it in a French accent?
Patchouli.
Patchouli. Patchouli.
Oh, that was good.
Patchouli.
Patchouli. So anyway,
not trying to be French, but I love the accent.
Well, kind of
so,
trying to be French.
If you want to find out about our favorite 20 patchouli fragrances, then please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning in and you still haven't subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. We're doing it again. This is a 2-year anniversary, as mentioned. Patchouli fragrances, we're obsessed. We love it. What do you like about patchouli, really quickly?
What don't I like about patchouli?
What don't you like about it?
I love it. I love it. I wear it all the time.
There's nothing negative to say about it.
Well, okay, if I was going to work at it, if I was going to find, like, source something negative, is that it is a polarizing ingredient. Right. Other people's reaction to patchouli can be a bit dramatic. But I really like it. When we talked about doing this, it was kind of, I actually thought there'd be a lot more overlap with the other video, but really not. And then you're going to also separately look at some...
Yes, there will be a follow-up video here, and I'm ranking her favorite patchouli fragrances, but these are mine that she's ranking.
I did rank them already.
Well, yeah, on camera, but let's get started. At number 20, Dahlia chose PATCHOULILIGHT from HERMETICA for this number 20.
I did do that.
So this is a new brand for me. It's Patchouli Rose Lemons Iris Violet. You definitely pick up the lemons here, definitely pick up the rose, and that patchouli and rose works great together. And this is also a unique kind of a fragrance. It's oily. When you spray it, did you spray look at how oily it gets, and you're supposed to do this too with this brand, and look at that. That's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful blend. It is patchouli forward, and I think it's very aptly named PATCHOULILIGHT. And
they're not referring to it being light.
It's not light as in...
It's like they're referring to the light.
It does project. It is a fresher patchouli.
It's a rosier patchouli as well. Lots of roses and citrus is there too. Lemons.
It is undeniably a patchouli, which is why it's on this list, but it has some stiff competition on the pure patchouli front. So that's why it's there, not because it isn't lovely.
HERMETICA PATCHOULILIGHT at number 20. Number 19, it's IDEO Perfumeurs Prism Blues. This one is all about patchouli, cardamom, oud, labdanum, black pepper.
And this is a sort of incensey one for me. I have this as well, and the only reason it's near the bottom is just, again, stiff competition on this list, and the patchouli is not as pure. On this one, there's just a lot of other stuff. I
think, for me, this one kind of reminds me of a patchouli-fied oud wood from Tom Ford. It reminds me of a more cardamom-y kind of forward patchouli. So the cardamom and I think the patchouli are both kind of like fighting with each other to be the dominant player. So I think that's why it's the bottom. It's not like a rooty, earthy, deep, dark, chocolate cakey patchouli that you're going to find coming up on the list. But the patchouli's there. But I can see why you put it at number 19. Number 18 is a fragrance we reviewed together.
We did.
MAITRE Parfume at Gantier's Patchouli 1969. This one is all about patchouli, of course. There's elemi resin, sandalwood, musk, cardamom. That cardamom keeps coming up.
It does. This is a powerhouse. This is a ginormous patchouli. It's also a sort of animalic patchouli. So the only reason it's here is because it's over that line for me where I can comfortably wear the animalic. The patchouli is a very nice, classy, quality patchouli. It's just a little too animalic for me personally.
Oh, really? Wow.
But it's gorgeous on him.
This one in the warm, actually, it just comes alive. It's patchouli, but it doesn't smell like a hippie patchouli. It's classy. There's lots of spices in here, the resins, and there's a great sexy muskiness about it. I love it. Patchouli 1969 from the house of Maitre Parfumé at Gantier. Number 17, it's Chanel's Coromandel.
Upsetting everyone.
I think this is the only designer on the list, right?
I think so too, but it is a really, I mean, it's
so sexy.
It's a classic.
Oh my god, it's so sexy.
It is really, it is. And it's only, that's really beautiful.
It's patchouli,
wonderful.
White chocolate, benzoin. It's got the vanillic benzoin, amber, woody notes. I love it. It smells so good. I could just drench myself with this all over. It's
definitely a patchouli. It's like immediately as soon as you smell it, and it's that warmer, more gourmandy kind of patchouli, but not. It's. I'm going to stop saying it. Essentially, if something is on this list, it's amazing and awesome. If it's on the bottom half of this list, it's only because it got beat out by something that was a bigger, badder, stronger patchouli. I'm going to stop saying it.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Anyway,
it's
Chanel.
Really beautiful.
Coromandel is at number 17. Number 16, going to the house of Montale. It's Patchouli Leaves. Now, why this one here?
It's a little too animalic.
Oh, really?
It's beautiful. This suffers from the same Maitre...
Parfumé at Gantier?
Yeah, it's just that the musk that they used with this one, it was just a little over the line for me.
Oh, wow.
But it's beautiful, big, bad patchouli. It's not bad like bad, bad like...
Big bad boy.
Yes.
Like that.
Like that.
So this one has patchouli, amber, vanilla, labdanum, musks. Thankfully, I don't get the animalic touches that you do, and I love it. I just was surprised to see it at number 16.
It's really good, and it's I like the older bottle where you take the.
Oh, yeah, this is. Oh, yeah, I see. The new ones you don't do that with it because these get lost and break. Anyway, Patchouli Leaves at number 16. Number 15, going to the house of by Kilian. It's not Straight to Heaven, but it's Straight to Heaven Extreme. I decided to put the extreme version here because it's a little stronger than the original. But why this one here?
This one, I really, really liked it, and it was not competing with the rum and the dried fruits and the other notes. It's definitely a patchouli. For as much as I liked it, though, there's a lot of other supporting notes that
kind of takes away from the patchouli.
The littlest bit. It's definitely a patchouli, but
for me, I think the rum is more of a player, and then I think the cedar note and the dried fruits in here, because there's dried fruits, which I absolutely love, gives it a sexy vibe. And in the heat, I love wearing this in the heat because the fruitiness comes open and it opens up to a vanillic patchouli, fruity rum. It's absolutely amazing, but I could see why you would put this further in the bottom.
Yeah, but it's in that gourmandy kind of patchouli space. Which is probably the only consistent gourmand thing I go for is that particular cozier version of the patchouli.
It's so good. Anyway, Straight to Heaven or Straight to Heaven Extreme. I wonder if I had put Straight to Heaven, it would have ended up at the bottom more. Not sure, but anyway, we're going with the Extreme today. That is at number 15. At number 14, it's Ursa from Tiziana Terenzi. So
yes, it is.
Why is this one here?
I think this might be another one where it was, I think it's the oud here that's distracting me a little bit.
Do you also get the leather? It's leathery. This is lots of leather.
Yes. We've been taught, today has been the day of leather.
Today has been leathery day.
Yes.
It's not Folsom Street Fair, is it?
No. No, it's not. But,
it's almost Thanksgiving, though.
Let us give thanks for leather and patchouli. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, but like the Straight to Hell,
Straight to Hell.
like the by Kilian. As much of a patchouli as it is, it's sharing the spotlight with the leather and the oud.
Now, do you find this similar to Straight to Heaven?
Not remotely.
No?
Not at all.
Anyway, so a lot of people say they are similar.
I think the
and I'm surprised they came one after another.
I've never heard anybody say that. I believe you. This is a more alcoholic, no, different alcohol. That one is a sweeter sort of rum, cozy patchouli, by Kilian. This is a edgier, like rougher, animalic-y, leathery bad boy.
I feel like this has been amped up with the oud and the leather, whereas the Kilian does not have the oud and the leather. It's softer and fruitier. This one, because it has, even though it has the fruity notes, but it has the leather and the oud, it gives it a more masculine kind of a touch to it. Number 13, it's NISHANE and it's MUNEGU. Unfortunately, my bottle is kind of falling apart. I've used up a lot of this because I love the smell. This is so good. There's 2 patchoulis from the NISHANE we were going to feature, and we decided to only feature 1 fragrance from each house. A couple of them had to be removed from various houses, and we removed Patchouli Koza from this house. We went with MUNEGU because we thought it was a little more patchouli.
Forward.
Yeah, patchouli. This is all about patchouli, cardamom, cumin, nutmeg, cedarwood, orange. It's so good. There's a chocolate cakiness under there too. We're getting to the point where they're like really going to the patchouli now.
This is patchouli. You don't notice the spices really. They're there if you think about it, but really it's like, oh, that's a nice patchouli. Then we're now getting into that zone where it's like I'm not feeling like there's anybody sharing the spotlight. This is, I mean, we said, I don't remember what we decided we were going to call this, but this is like big bad patchoulis, like where we're at right now after 2 years and loving patchoulis. And this is a patchouli, and it's a good one.
It's a great patchouli. Anyway, this is MUNEGU from the house of NISHANE. Number 12, going to the house of DIPTYQUE, it's Tempo, and Tempo is all about patchouli, mate, clary sage, pink pepper, violet leaves. It's a very green patchouli to me. Thoughts?
And again, it reads as a very, very patchouli, but yeah, there is a greenness to it, and a fresh herby brightness to this patchouli, which differentiates it from other ones, and it gives it almost like a freshness, but not in a freshy light way, but a brightness. It's beautiful, and it's sort of...
I agree about the brightness, because that green stuff brightens it up. Mate is a very herbal tea kind of a note for me, and clary sage is already an aromatic herb, so there's like this brightness about it, even though it's not fresh and citrusy.
It's like DIPTYQUE waited, and they had this beautiful comprehensive line with so many different notes, and they waited, and then they brought out a solid patchouli.
Yeah, they did a good job with this.
And
one.
it's, I mean, at this point, I think it's kind of hard to do something that hasn't been done with patchouli. Not that a bright patchouli hasn't been done, but this is different.
Yeah, it's a good one. Check it out. Tempo from DIPTYQUE. That's at number 12. 11, going to the house of I Profumi di Firenze. It's Patchouli Rosso, and we have a comparison video of their other patchouli called Dolce Patchouli, if you are curious to find out about this house and these 2 patchoulis, check it out. But this is all about patchouli, cedarwood, myrrh, spices. This to me is like extremely earthy patchouli. Like it's removing all the sparkliness of the patchouli, the effervescent qualities of it, making it just dark green, woody, earthy.
This is this is like, if there's some sports analogy here of like hitting a baseball straight, or like whatever you do with a bowling ball straight. Like this is patchouli. It's so solidly patchouli that it's almost, yeah, it's patchouli. Like it's almost like there are other notes, but it's, am I making any sense?
Yeah.
It's a very direct, straightforward, nice quality patchouli.
Yeah. This is the top 10, and at number 10, going to the house of Frederic Malle, this is Monsieur right here. This is all about patchouli, rum, incense, cedar, amber, tangerine. This is a very, very...
masculine.
Yeah, big, beastly kind of...
It's only a 10 because I know that line can do unisex so well, and I'm just irritated that this is more on the masculine side than I would want to wear. That's, and obviously by the name, like that's what they were going for. Good job, they did it, but it's my ranking. So even though it's a beautiful, well-crafted, lovely patchouli, it's just me holding a grudge that I can't wear it.
Do you find the medicinal qualities in here? I get something very medicinal. This is really intense. If you like beast mode intensity, like really strong, masculine, this is it right here. Monsieur from the House of Frederic Malle, and that's at number 10. Number 9, going to the House of Parfums de Marly, this is NISEAN, and I just recently did a review of this one. If you are curious about it, it's a very underrated Parfums de Marly fragrance. With this one, you got woody notes, patchouli, saffron, labdanum, floral notes, amber. It's a very ambery patchouli. It's beastly intense.
But it's absolutely a patchouli, and I would put this more on the gourmandy side of the patchouli. But it's
I love this one. I just recently discovered it, and I don't know where I have been. It's very warm.
Yeah. It's warm and it's not snuggly exactly, but it's a patchouli embrace.
It's interesting. Okay, NISAN from Parfums de Marly, that's at number 9. At number 8, going to the House of Dear Diary, this is Mediterranean Breeze. This one's all about patchouli, cedarwood, amber, musk, jasmine, sandalwood. This is intense, like a really ambery patchouli.
This one took me by surprise. This one started at the bottom and just kept moving up and up and up the ranking. Yeah, I kind of don't get the name. I don't get how this is a Mediterranean Breeze, actually, which maybe that threw me off a little bit, but it's
intense. It's really, really thick and intense patchouli. It doesn't make sense to me either as far as the Mediterranean Breeze goes, but maybe...
I got nothing.
Maybe with the Mediterranean Breeze, I've been in the Mediterranean many times.
As have I.
Yeah.
At no point did I like walk along the Mediterranean and go,
patchouli.
Like, I mean, unless it was me, unless like somebody was walking behind me and like wafting patchouli, like I'm focusing on something that's perhaps not.
But this is a beast mode patchouli. If you like it with amber, check it out. It's Mediterranean Breeze from the House of Dear Diary. Number 7, going to the House of FARMACIA, ANNUNZIATA. This is Patchouli Indonesiano. Really complicated
Super
words.
hard things to pronounce on this one. And is this that cold sort of?
It's very metallic patchouli. It's very cold, earthy,
medicinal as well.
Yeah,
like the even more medicinal than the Frederic Malle one.
But it's a good one. This is more like a cakey medicinal patchouli. Whereas the Frederic Malle had a lot more going on with it. There was that booziness. This one's straightforward patchouli, like it's nothing but patchouli, because in the notes that's what's listed.
But icy.
It's icy cold. There's a little bit of warmth from the chocolatey touches, because I do get those chocolate cakey touches.
I don't get any chocolate cake.
Really?
Okay.
I get a little chocolate cake.
If there's
silver chocolate cake.
Silver chocolate cake, it would be like 85%. Like if you, I don't know if you're into the chocolate where it's like 40% chocolate or 65, or this would be like the dark.
There's no sweetness there.
Right.
Absolutely no.
It's medicinal.
Like cooking,
cold.
baking chocolate that you're going to add sugar to it and it doesn't taste like anything.
Or like, you know how like in Mexican food, chocolate is a savory, like with a mole? It could be like that, where it's not, I don't get dessert on this one.
Yeah, I don't get dessert.
It's not herbaceous, but it
smells like earth to me. It smells like the earth, like deep down, almost going into space or something, because there's that metallic, ozonic kind of a touch in there. Very, very interesting.
A little bit Jetsons, a little bit like...
Jet fuel.
No.
Just kidding.
It's good. It's really good.
It's a cold patchouli, guys, not a warm patchouli.
Yeah.
Check it out.
In case we didn't say that enough times in a row.
Cold. What was that again? Cold metal?
Metal. Cold metal.
Metallica. Did you know that Guerlain had a fragrance called Metallica, and Metallica sued and they had to pull it?
I didn't.
Okay.
They live out here, don't they?
Yeah, they're here in the Bay Area.
In Marin or something?
No, across the bay. Or somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, like Tiburon or in the Sheesh.
Somewhere.
Anyway,
number 6, it's a House of Histoire de Parfums. It's Patchouli Noir, this one right here. This one slipped.
It did.
This one slipped.
Well, here's the thing. It's definitely patchouli, and it's beast mode, and it's beautiful, but that leather kind of distracted from the purity of the patchouli enough that a few other options edged it out of the top 5.
Sadly to me, this one, I love it, don't get me wrong. It reminds me of their other fragrance, Marquis de Sade.
Oh yeah.
They have very similarities. This one is more patchouli, but the leather in here reminds me of the leather in the Marquis de Sade. So I just don't find it to be like a straightforward in-your-face patchouli, because it's more about the leather. And I get some green touches, like I get this greenness from this spine here. So anyway, but it's a great fragrance.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Histoire de Parfums, Patchouli Noir at number 6. Number 5, we're going to the house of Quinto Canto or V Canto. It's Mea Culpa. We've got patchouli, benzoin, incense, powdery notes, vanilla.
And one of your commenters clarified that Mea Culpa is I'm guilty, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's...
I remember that Enigma song from the early 90s. It was called Mea Culpa. Anyway, this is created by Paolo Terenzi.
And
this is his other line.
Of loving it.
You like this one?
Top 5. I mean, yeah, it's...
You really like this one?
I like patchouli. I like vanilla. I like benzoin. I like incense. If you asked me, do I like powdery fragrances? I'd be like, but I don't.
This is good. This is now getting into the chocolatey territory. I think top 5 is mostly chocolate, except for one, which is a complete green patchouli.
That's not... Oh, it is kind of...
Yeah, so this is like chocolate cake served with your patchouli. I love it.
I mean, basically, if I go and I order dessert in a restaurant, it is going to be the chocolate lava cake, the 7-layer chocolate cake, the pot de creme that's chocolate. Like...
Chocolate mousse.
Ooh. Yeah.
Anyway, Quinto Canto... Mea Culpa at number 5. Number 4, it's from the House of Reminiscence, Paris, and it's patchouli. The patchouli, the end-all patchouli, right? I mean, this is very popular patchouli.
I have the other bottle with the stars on it, and this is the coziest, warmest hug of a patchouli. This is as warm as the Farmacita one is cold.
This is definitely chocolatey patchouli again. Lots of chocolatey undertones with this patchouli. But it's still a very earthy patchouli that sparkles and brightens things up. I love it. When I smell patchouli, I just get like fireworks. Like it's just happy for me.
This is just, this is something where somebody's wearing this and you just want to like hug them.
Really?
I think so.
It's nice. It's sexy. Patchouli from Reminiscence Paris at number 4.
Are they a designer? Because it's a jewelry designer, do we call that a designer?
So a little news. I met with them in Cannes, and they are no longer affiliated with the jewelry company. They separated. They're under a different...
Cool.
So it's not a jewelry company anymore.
Yes. So like, are we saying they're indie?
They're more niche. Yeah, they're independent of their jewelry company. That's what I was told.
Famous patchouli. This is...
it's been there since the 70s.
Since the 70s, and it's... for the other patchos out there, this is like a reference patchouli. This is...
The other thing about them is they have so many variations on their patchouli because it's so popular. They even have a patchouli pour homme. They have patchouli with rose, patchouli with something else, patchouli light, patchouli this.
There's a candle.
Yeah, there's lots of patchouli in the Reminiscence collection, so go check it out. At number 3, it's Iyoko 1954 I-PATCHOULI.
Where did this come from? I've never heard of this brand. I've never seen this before.
When we did the last video, somebody commented and said, where is Boys 1920 Patchouli? I don't own Boys 1920 Patchouli. The guy who was a perfumer for Boys 1920 left Boys 1920 and started his own line, and this is his patchouli.
This is wow. This is...
Wow.
It's...
Stunning.
It's patchouli. I mean...
That's why it's I-PATCHOULI. I-PATCHOULI.
Like I, Claudius.
You patchouli, I patchouli.
No. This is great. It's intense, it's warm, it's, does this wear beastly? I feel like it would.
Well, this one has patchouli, sandalwood, benzoin, tobacco, musk, and it's masculine, and it wears masculine. It wears intense. It's big, it's beastly. Sometimes I just spray it in this studio that I'm in because I just want that patchouli smell.
Is this what you sprayed when I came in?
I sprayed this, yeah.
It's like walking around like, yeah. Oh my gosh, but it has, it combines a few different kinds of patchouli, I feel. It starts out sort of medicinal.
Yeah, I can see that.
And then it warms up to that, and I don't know if it ever gets cakey, but maybe with...
No, it does go chocolatey to me. It does go chocolate cakey.
So you get more of a spectrum of patchouli. I've never, I mean, there's no bias here. I've never seen this brand.
But you like it?
love.
Love it. That's why it's at number 3.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is
delicious.
Ayoko 1954 I-PATCHOULI.
And it's not, I mean, actually masculine. This is...
Ooh.
Right?
Love it.
So good.
Anyway, Ayoko 1954 I-PATCHOULI is at number 3. Number 2 is from the house of Parfums de Nicolai Patchouli Intense, and this is the one that's not the chocolatey, cakey patchouli. This is an absolute green patchouli for me. Wears green, experiences green. Almost also a little bit like a masculine fougere type of a patchouli. There's lavender, geranium, patchouli, sandalwood.
Except I wore this all summer. It isn't masculine. It's clean. It's good. Fresh. It's bracing. It's bright.
It's an aromatic patchouli, or maybe an aromatic
so
oriental.
Green and.
It's ultra green.
It's which was the other? There was another one on here that was a green patchouli, and this is
Tempo.
Yeah, but this is a different green.
This to me smells like bell peppers and patchouli.
That sounds gross. I don't get anything. It's the geranium. It's the geranium just makes the patchouli so clean.
Do you also get like mushrooms?
Not even.
Earthy mushrooms, green salad, patchouli. It's so good. It's amazing.
Genuinely.
I have a full review of this. Go check it out.
I wore this all summer, and I wore Vetiver by Santa Maria Novella. Like this, when it was actually hot,
it was great.
Amazing.
It's bomb. With this one, it's bomb when you wear it in the summer.
And it shouldn't. I mean, it seems like it would be more masculine, and it's.
I think it's pretty unisex.
Completely unisex for anybody who, any of the other women out there who are looking for more masculine type styles that you can wear, and it completely works. This one's great.
Mm-hmm. Patchouli Intense from the house of Parfums de Nicolai, or Nicolai Perfumer Creator.
What do we think is at number 1? Is it going to shock people? I think not.
Psychedelic from the house of Jovoy, our favorite patchouli.
One of us.
I would have put this at number 1 too.
Yeah, these bottles are like huge, and you wear this.
Guess who loves patchouli? My mom and my mom's sister, my aunt.
Oh my gosh.
They're obsessed with patchouli.
This one's really classy.
Now this one is more of the chocolate variety. You got patchouli, amber, vanilla, geranium, musk, and labdanum. It's very ambery. Chocolate cake is definitely there. Lots of chocolate cake or any like chocolatey dessert.
And it's a huge sillage. Like it's.
Oh my god. This is a beast mode house.
Yeah.
Everything is beast mode. If you like beast mode, and a lot of people don't like to use that term, but it's a good way to. I don't know. A lot of people hate this term, but.
But you know what I mean when we say it, you know what we mean. So.
It's just intense. It's really an intense experience.
It almost has. It's like a rum baba or something. Like I don't see any alcohol listed.
Hey, patchouli baba.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let's make that happen. It's winter coming up. Like baking could be a thing. It's beautiful.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I feel like it has that quality of. It would work for. It works on my skin. It works on your skin. It's so.
It's very versatile.
Well, but like there. You know, famously, our skin does not agree on some things, but there's no volatile sort of ingredient that is temperamental in this. It's expensive.
Do you get the booziness also?
I did, yeah, but
it's
I don't
like a chocolate liqueur.
Yeah, like I don't know what the alcohol is, but there's a
like a whiskey or something. It's delicious. Jovoy, psychedelic, number 1.
It is
totally deserves it.
It is number 1.
Yeah, it's
really, really good.
Well, I'm glad we did this again.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
2 years.
2 years. This is our very first video we did about top 20 patchouli, and this is the anniversary, 2-year anniversary, and we've updated the list. Today we wanted to, as I mentioned, focus more on like straightforward patchoulis, whereas the last video we featured variations on patchoulis. But this is a great list of great fragrances.
I think we've also just continued buying patchoulis over the last 2 years.
Because we love it. And also stay tuned for where I rank Dahlia's favorite patchouli fragrances. She's going to pull her collection and I will rank it. whereas this one she ranked my favorites. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. If you have a suggestion for a patchouli fragrance, please do put a comment down so we can find out. If you're a fan of these fragrances, also let us know which of them do you like, which of them do you hate. We'd like to find out. Other than that, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.